over to you.
Thank you, Kim. Okay, I'm sharing the screen. Okay, is it okay? I
It's
hope
starting.
so.
Yes, it's good.
Okay, perfect. So hello to everyone. I'm happy to be here, missing to hang out with you maybe, but I hope it will be a nice conference anyway. So taming Volto without semantic UI, is it possible? Well, the answer is yes, and we'll discuss the process of making that possible. I'm Nicola, I'm a front-end developer, as Kim already said, and I'm proud to be a member of the Volto team, following the development of Volto from the early beginning. And first, I'll introduce you with a bit of history, because RedTurtle has always worked with PA, with public administration, and before 2017, each authority website had its own design and team. As you can see, any website was different in design and structure, and it was confusing for the users to find content upon different websites and platforms for the same services. So back in 2017, the government started AGID. AGID is the Italian agency for digital transformation, and its main goal is to create standards for public administrations, websites, and services, publishing guidelines and common rules. These new guidelines, which are actually a design system, are made so to unify the design of public administration websites. Working with public administration, RedTurtle developed Plone 5 diazo-based team following the design system, and we built a product on top of that named Qt, and it has been used for a lot of clients in the last few years. So this is the new design we standardize for our clients and public administrations from all over the country. In 2019, a new version of these guidelines has been published, and it changed drastically the entire design. So we had to re-implement a new theme, and we choose to adopt Volto. The AGID guidelines are made to be unified from any website for public administrations and have common rules for content types and tree structure of content, and consist in a design system which is general, but it is also customizable for any website. So any local administration can have their own visual identity. So the theme we have to build is something reusable and extendable. Each client has its own colors and logos, but the base is the same. Agid also bring the a bootstrap-based kit that we didn't adopt it in the first version because it was a mess, and we chosen to not adopt that because we want from scratch. This time we wanted to use that in order to enroll our team in their listings, because the first time they rejected. The kit was a mess again, but at least we had an official React library, okay, supporting that to integrate those styles in Volto. So to summarize it all, this is the scenario. We wanted to adopt Volto in our fresh new project because it's cool, it's modern, and has a good UX. At the same time, we needed to integrate Bootstrap for the official kit, And in Volto, we have SemanticUI as a CSS framework. If you ever try to mix two different CSS frameworks, you'll find out that it will collide because of several conflicts between any styles from the base one to the specific ones. The first approach was a trial and error, and for the sake of simplicity, we tried to simply import our bootstrap-based kit in a Volto project based on SemanticUI. And we found a lot of issues, something like blood and pain, anything more. And consider the container CSS class used by both SemanticUI and Bootstrap. You'll find plenty of conflicts between the two definitions, fighting over the same selector. The two different libraries implement the containers in very different ways, and both of them was applying to the same selector. So as a result, we had the whole page broken. Subsequently, we tried to fix every single conflict, but we didn't go anywhere. It was an endless list with anything but pain in the arse at the bottom. Then, RedTurtle decided to invest a large amount of time to find a reasonable solution to develop in Volto. The cheap one didn't go anywhere, so we went for the big one. What did we develop in Volto? We structured a new team named Pastanaga CMS UI, which is based on Pastanaga theme, but importing only the styles needed for Volto administration UI. So we separated Pastanaga styles, was needed for the toolbar, the sidebar, the control panels, in general for editing interfaces, from those which are needed for the final user, for the public facing views. The whole process has been discussed a lot and analyzed in the PR you see here, the 970, which is quite interesting if you want to read further. So now in Volto, the body element and some critical components have a CSS class to classify each element. We have CMS UI for management interfaces and public UI for the public facing views. How can I use it? If you need something different from SemanticUI for your Volto project, you can now edit your theme.js file, stripping the import of the whole SemanticUI library and import the one from Pastanaga CMS UI theme that includes only the CSS styles for management interfaces, wrapped by the CMS UI class. So those styles are applied only for the elements specific for administration UI. And then import your site custom styles, as always. To avoid the same issues I had working on containers, I suggest you to choose Pastanaga CMS UI theme for the container model in your theme configuration. If you have or want to use sass in your project, for example, if you're using Bootstrap, like in my case, you would include the sass plugin for RedTurtle, which delivers the sass loader for Webpack, and it is barely automatic. And then in RedTurtle configuration, you can now set sass options as you need. Another suggestion I can give you strongly is to normalize base styles to resolve possible conflicts on base font size or weight, or the base styles of your page, like paddings, margins. The base font size is the main issues, but you can have other ones. So wrap your components with public UI, for example, for blocks views. So while you're in editing views, you have body CMS UI class applied to the body element, but your blocks or your custom views from Bootstrap have the font size normalized. But why are we here? Let's go back to the original problem. That was the added new cool theme. All of this started for making that theme for Volto. And after several months of work, it was like a year of time span. On Volto, it was possible to include bootstrap-based theme, and we started creating our Agit-based theme, and this is the result. This is a product named io-comune, and to build the product, we needed a base common package, because, as I said, it will be the base for any client, any project we'll make in the future for public administration. So a base common package to reuse for any installation for every customer, and it is design Volto theme. You can find it on GitHub, and you can look up for the configuration of the sass loader, or for the custom import of styles, and excluding SemanticUI, sorry. But we also need that package to be an intermediate layer between Volto and our side projects, because SemanticUI is thought as a layer system where you have levels from the default, the packages theme, which is in our case Pastanaga, and usually you have the site specific theme. In our case, we also have an intermediate layer, which is design Volto theme. This is accomplished basically logically, because we also have our site projects, and they simply import the styles from design Volto theme and use it to build our new theme. In the same way, another layer for RedTurtle has to be done for aliases and customizations. So we have customized the RedTurtle configuration to add an alias to design Volto theme, which is Italia, and extended customizations paths to override components from the Italia theme from the site projects. In a different way, we replicated what's in Volto for RedTurtles and layers and this stuff in our intermediate theme. Eventually, we created a template for actual site projects, which is made by Design Volto Kit, which is our project template, and a human generator like generator Volto, and it is named Create Italia Volto App, which automatically creates an actual site project with the kit, with our project template, and where we only need to customize the variables. In Design Volto team, we have this machinery of variables, so we only need to change few of them, and we have a new fresh project. And that's it. Here it is, io-comune, our product for public administration. Here you can see Volto's interface for blocks and editing the content. The toolbar is made from the styles from SemanticUI, from Pastanaga, and that's the only exception for the Pastanaga CMS UI team, where we had to re-implement the styles because it was a little complicated. And everything else is made by public UI styles, and blocks are in the CMS UI part because they have the controls for moving, ordering, deleting, and the menu for adding a new block. But also we have the public UI wrapper inside of those, so the blocks have the styles from the bootstrap-based kit applied. Here are some examples of projects which are going to be live in the next month, like Comune di Modena, Comune di Reggio Emilia, and others coming in the next month. Thank you for joining. I hope I answered the question, and I'm here for any further question.
Thank you, Nicola. So I guess you proved me wrong. It is possible.
Yeah.
I really appreciate your showing us how to do this, because it's always good to have alternatives, and being able to know that it's doable without SemanticUI is, I'm sure others will take advantage of what you've built, and thank you for sharing your code too. I see we have one question in the Slido, which is that Victor showed us a sneak peek of the next version of Pastanaga design system. Do you think it will be too much effort to bring these updates in?
Well, I guess it will be discussed. Also because one next step I will have in mind is to have the styles needed for administration UI in a separated bundle, so they are imported statically, and we have a bundle of styles for management interfaces separated from the styles of the new theme. Maybe a solution could be CSS in JS or anything different from the basic styling. We'll see.
Okay, and we have another question, which is Bootstrap 5 is now in beta, and do you think it will be much work to move this to this new version, assuming you have been using Bootstrap 4?
I don't know how they are implementing Bootstrap 5, but I'm using a React Kit implementation for Bootstrap, and I hope that they will upgrade those components and have an upgrade guide, so we can switch and migrate from Bootstrap 4 to Bootstrap 5. I don't know if it will be the case for our team, for our Agile Bootstrap kit, but I guess it will be nothing different from everything I explained, to separate that and import and using in your project.
Okay. I don't see any other questions in the Slido, but I would encourage everyone watching to please join Nicola in the face-to-face. I was going to say FaceTime, in the face-to-face, which is, I hope you know by now, is the blue button below the video here, in the Jitsi, and we will be continuing the discussion there. So thank you again, Nicola. Thank you for showing us that this is indeed possible, and hope to see you later today and tomorrow.
See ya.